Okay.
Okay, let's zoom in then. There we go. No,
Not a Catalan.
not a Catalan.
5 is the knight on b1.
Bishop e7 going for the Lasker. Or it can be also Bondarevsky-Makagonov.
h6. And none of the above because decided.
The game's appeared, guys.
decided.
Oh, wow. I'm super excited.
Wow.
I'm super excited.
Now there's less games, so maybe even like less delay.
Wow.
Can this be right?
Dubov Daniil
We're trying to play a solid system.
Well, but also a surprising system. The big question is, does he really have an idea here, or is he just trying to get thing out of the...
Yeah, what happens on like... Well, I guess there's no bishop g4 because the b7 pawn is hanging for now.
Yeah, but normally white does this when black plays the Bondarevsky with b6. And then it makes sense. Now that black has this very stable pawn structure and invites queen b6. Okay, queen b6 on the board.
And then bishop g4, so he defended the pawn and then attacks this knight.
Knight
Goes
d...
back to d2.
But okay, bishop g4 also invites some h3, g4. Okay, it's very risky for...
Knight d... Oh, rook e8. Okay, you gotta decide what you're doing with your king.
Yes.
Goes short.
Yeah, that's why
Seven.
it made sense. Yeah, it was very clever by Ding. So he forces white to castle short. After h3 he falls back with the bishop to e6. Rook e1. Wow, okay, so white wants to go f4, knight f3, knight e5, or what exactly?
Yeah, that's a big question, right? So the bishop on g4 is a little bit awkward though, right? I mean, with the pawn on h7 you'd be so happy to just go
Yeah, but
h6.
it was strange that Dubov did not include h3, because now if he plays h3, actually the bishop might also...
Go to h5.
But then f4, rook takes e3, you have to watch out for all these tactics. Yeah, so if white tries to trap the bishop with f4, g4, then there is this counter strike with rook takes e3. Anyway,
He
Goes
dropped the
back
bishop
to
back to
e6.
e6.
Liren goes back to e6, the solid move.
This could be the moment where you go f4, right?
But now c5, he prepares c5, that's why he wanted to protect the pawn. But anyway, Dubov goes
maybe-
f4.
Okay, f4, c5, f5.
Yes, exactly. f5 is there.
f3. Now white is in time, right?
Now it makes sense.
White to f3 and going for this pills.
So what happens on c5 here?
Well, knight a4.
Knight a4 for now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, just takes the
You
post.
can't play
Needs
c5,
more, and it needs more preparation.
which means also that previously after c5 there was knight a4. Okay.
Well, there is a feeling like black pieces are not ready for what white is about to do.
Yeah, white succeeded with something.
Okay, so knight e5.
e7.
Knight e5, bishop d6.
He goes queen f2.
Queen f2, yeah, this is another kind of slowly building up the pressure. And the knight on f8 is a horrible piece. It has no perspectives.
Check
Yeah,
the mic
it's
and make sure
kind of
it sound
known,
right.
right? I mean, this type of... I think sometimes they even go f5. Like, if black goes f6 to stop knight e5, then white can then actually go f5, right?
Yeah, and also this knight h4 business, all the light squares. No, and also Daniil is now visibly very nervous. He feels like he allowed too much. White got the initiative.
And from such an innocent line originally, right? Just take on f6 and play reasonable moves.
Look at this. He feels the tension. He's so much in focus. He's trying to give his absolute most, but he's under pressure.
e5.
Dubov has a half-minute time advantage. It also has, and his play is so easy. f6. Now he will simply return with the knight to f3. Yes, and then knight h4 is coming, and all the light squares, and eventually, okay, c5 is pushed, but
Finally.
yeah, but we can just ignore c5. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because now cd4, ed4 is fine. Yes.
Thank you very much.
We are not scared because this
Not at
will
all.
be too slow.
I think knight h4 and then also knight e2, knight g3 can appear.
Yeah, and there is also this thing like bishop b1, you know, sometimes the battery on this diagonal, like after knight h4. Right? Wow.
Okay, and Drake and Yu Yang Yi ended in a draw. And Draken had the white pieces. They got some sort of symmetrical structure. Ended in a draw. I think Pang Bo will figure out a way to win. I mean, he already has some advantageous looking position, quite dangerous. Logno is down on the clock against Xu, but it's a complicated position. Ju and Jun.
And finally knight h4 on the board after some bishop b1, bishop f7 inclusion.
The match looks really unclear, right?
See the bishop b4 played. Yeah, Ding is trying to create some...
Maybe queen g3 or...
Okay, he played rook c1.
Yeah.
He played rook c1. He does not want to trade rooks. Probably that's one of the points. And yeah, you move queen g3 and then knight f5 is positional play by Dubov. However, now Dinglen is up on the clock. So at least he has something to rely on.
Yeah, like about 10 seconds ahead on the clock.
Yes, when you are done to a minute, it kind of means something.
Well, maybe now it's not as bad.
Yeah, now it's already much better than it was.
e7, bishop f5, queen d6.
Bishop went back to b1 after going to d3.
So it's more of a hovering around, waiting for an opponent to make a mistake.
Right, he trying to hold the position with this small amount of time. It's interesting because even if you put your queen on d3 and you make that battery against the king, you still are not threatening anything because knight on f8 is defending everything.
Power of this knight on f8, yeah.
I guess that's why Dubov is like not super ambitious because he thinks black's position is very solid here.
And black is 20 seconds ahead. And 25 seconds against 45.
Bishop a4. Rook d3, okay, so he's lifting the rook. He went bishop a4, rook to e6, right?
So he wants the rook on g3, the knight.
Then rook
on
d3,
f5.
yes. Wow. Exactly when you get into a big time trouble and now Ding has to spend his time. Rook e7 played. What is rook e7? Stepping
knight f5, yeah.
Stepping into knight f5. Rook e7, rook g3. Bishop g6.
Bishop
Okay, this has to be lost.
d5.
Knight takes d5.
And he'll find some tactic. Knight d5, now queen d5 is
Bishop
bishop
e3.
e3. You would think rook c4, but then knight e7.
Yeah, bishop takes f5. Knight takes b6, rook c2. It was a blunder by Dubov. All of a sudden his knight on b6 is lost.
Yeah, I think this match is not going well.
Wait a second, but can you... Nah.
Wow, breaking.
So you take c2, rook c2, you move the queen.
Pang Bo is actually losing.
Wow, okay, so then...
Logno is losing. And Ju is unclear. Wow, is Dubov, can he save this position?
Pang Bo losing. This sounds like impossible. Well, no, I think now Ding is in full control.
Yeah, it's completely winning.
So the king is safe, and oh, bishop e4. Knight comes to h4. No, it's just a disaster. There is knight f3. Okay, he doesn't even bother with tactics. Just the position is so dominant.
But hold on, you know, Artemyev is up a pawn.
Okay, I'm jumping immediately to the Artemyev game.
Artemyev's up a pawn. Maksudlu has beaten Ju. He's turned it around. And Galim Januli, I mean, he's up a piece. He's got to win with that extra bishop. He's easily winning. Easily. So I mean...